Beef finger ribs. They're not the most famous or the most popular, but believe me when I tell you, these little known beef ribs are probably the best tasting beef ribs you'll ever have. Often you'll find them in stores or markets already cut in half, and the meatier part is called the center cut ribs. If you see those, scoop them up. These are simple, old school ribs, so you don't need brines or multiple rub layers or fancy cooking or even barbecue sauce. Finger ribs come from just below the ribeye. That's one of the reasons they're so incredibly flavorful and delicious. They're full of collagen and intramuscular fat, just like the ribeye, but they're not tender like a ribeye until you cook them just right. I usually like to give them a good little sear, then finish them indirect or low and slow like 250 degrees till they render the collagen in the fat and become oh so soft and silky delicious. But for this video, I cooked these old school over open fire with just the right amount of heat and smoke till done, then rested them in foil for a little while. They were super good. Come on, let's get fired up and cook some finger ribs. They look good, really good. All I'm gonna do is put a little bit of my brisket rub on here. We're gonna go to town, get fired up, and start cooking. I'm gonna put a nice little coat on here. I love the flavor of this on the briskets. I'm gonna see what it tastes like on these big beef ribs. All right, friends, I got my beef finger ribs. Got a little fire going in the Javelin grill here. We're just gonna put them right over the fire. It might be a little bit too hot. We're fixing to find out. I'm gonna do a little flippity flip on them anyway, a couple of times. If it's a little too hot, I'll move some of the fire to the side and just let them ride. Normally beef ribs like this, they have a lot of connective tissue and collagen too, just like the big beef ribs, so you gotta give them a little bit of time. If you cook them too hot and too fast, they kind of get crusty and dried up on you, so we're gonna try to take our time with them. My lovely wife wanted some chicken, so we're gonna put some chickens over here on the side. I did try to put this skewer on the very last one. It kind of didn't want to go, so they're gonna hang a little bit. That's gonna be okay. Let's scoot some of this fire to the side over here so it's not so direct. All right, let me try to flip these. Put a little char on the other side, see if they'll straighten out a little bit. There we go. Nothing really to worry about too much. That's gonna settle down. It's just dripping a little bit of grease. Put a little bit of char on there. We like char, don't we? There's always a way to control the fire. In this case, I just flipped them over. It's gonna start to drip again in a little while. We'll flip it right back. If it's dripping too much grease, we'll do the flippity flip until we get the fire settled down. It's always when you have an open fire, you're gonna have a lot of fire at the beginning, and then you have to kind of guesstimate more or less how big of the logs you're gonna put in, or if you're gonna put in some more lump charcoal. Today I think I'm gonna do a little bit of both. I like to add that wood for flavor, but the lump charcoal, if you add it a little at a time, it doesn't change the flavor, and it kind of has a slow, steady, consistent, controlled heat, which is what we're looking for. We want a nice, steady heat to cook these meats. Remember, that charcoal is gonna burn out. It's gonna kind of minimize. It won't be quite as hot in about 15 minutes. Okay, see how the things just kind of settled down a little bit? Took about 5 minutes, but it did settle down a little bit. All right, friends, since we got a fire going anyway and plenty of room here, I decided to throw a couple of sausages over here on the side, a little more indirect. These are gonna take an hour and a half or two, and I'm hungry now, so I was hoping these will get done in about 20 minutes. We'll find out. All right, you can see the heat's pushing out all that moisture. Means we got plenty of heat. I probably have a little too much. That's okay. We're gonna flippity flip them, and we're gonna get some really good looking ribs here in a little while. Whew. Yeah, baby, look at that. They're getting a nice little char over here on this side. I got more heat on this side from that little flame, so I need to move that. And I need to get this sausage a little bit further away. There we go. Flip here. Ooh, look at that gorgeous sizzle going on there. And I can see that that charcoal's starting to kind of wear down a little bit, so I'm gonna add a little bit of lump charcoal in here. Let's flip this over one more time. And it's all good, folks, all good. Every time I have it flipped the other way with the meat side up, it drips a lot more grease. I guess that grease is kind of soaked up underneath the membrane there. And when I flip it over, it all just kind of wants to run out. All right, friends, this sausage looks very, very done to me. I'm gonna pull this out so I can get a little Scooby snack bite while the ribs finish cooking. Those have about 30 more minutes to go. All right, friends, these ribs are done. I'm gonna put them on some foil. Let's see if it's not too hard to get them off of the skewers. Oh no, that was pretty easy. Easy peasy. So I'm gonna leave them in this foil and let them rest for about 10 or 15 minutes before we cut on them and see how they taste. And I am gonna leave them meat side down, nice and tight, so we can keep all that moisture in there. We're just gonna keep them over here away from the heat. It's still fairly warm here, so we're gonna put them back here in the back corner and let them sit there for about 10-15 minutes. Let's open up these ribs, see what they taste like. Man, look at all that. Got some nice little juicy here. Yum, yum. We'll call that rib tallow. All right, let's get a knife here. Let's cut these things right down the middle. Man, they looked perfect. Man, they cooked really nice. Got some nice little char on the bottom. Beautiful color on top. They look really moist. They're soft. I cooked them right up around 200 degrees. On one side it was like 202. The other side was just barely cracking 200. All right, let's cut one whole rib here. They slice really nice and easy. Now these finger ribs don't have a lot of meat, but the little bit of meat they have is fantastic. All right, check these ribs out. Look how moist they are. Super juicy. They look really good. Like I said, they don't have a lot of meat, you can tell, but they do have some meat, and the meat that's there is always really fantastic. Let's see what it tastes like. Oh yeah, baby. They're perfectly cooked. Man, the meat is so good. Wow. All right, my friends. These ribs turned out fantastic. So juicy, so moist. When I first laid them on the grill, on that open fire grill with the skewers, they kind of went, whoa, you know, because they have weight, you know, and in the middle kind of wanted to flop down. And so I figured out I needed to flip them the other way first. Once they were in the heat for a little while, they set, and then I flipped them several times and they worked out okay. They look beautiful. They're super soft, super juicy, and super moist. I hope you enjoyed this little video. This was not so much a big old how-to. This was more about me having fun with the open fire pit that I got, that javelin. I always have fun cooking, and I enjoy making these videos for you guys, so I hope you enjoy them. If you do, hit that like button. Go ahead and hit that subscribe button so you don't miss a single video from Arnie Tech. Folks, I hope you enjoyed it, because I sure did. So if you would like to buy some of this APC Wow Rub or some of the APC OG Rub, go ahead and go to pitmaster.us. You'll find both rubs there. And if you want to up your barbecue game, you can go to pitmasterclass.us, where we teach you how to cook great barbecue on different types of pits. And we take you from the selection to the trimming to the cooking to the wrapping and the resting stages, all through that, and teach you how to cook amazing barbecue, either competition or the backyard. That's at pitmasterclass.us. Folks, we'll see you on the next one. Keep the smoke light, make it work, and make it a wow kind of day. Boom! Boom! What's up, bud? What are you doing? You looking for some carnitas? Are you looking for carnitas? Or you want chicken? You want some chicken?